He know that I know he's lying right now. Oh, you got the new Margellas? That's what's up. That's what's up. I see you. That's your BMW? That's nice. That's your girl? Golly. Okay, I see you. But I just want to know one thing. You ready? Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You making it.
I can't believe I had to bring this song out of the mothballs.
I figured that you're lying. Ooh, it's almost like you faking. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know you're lying, but you sound excited, and you know that I know that you're lying. Oh, girl, I'ma keep on lying to you, yeah, until you think it's the truth. Yeah. Now, girl, I know you fibbing. Ooh, you know you can't help it. You know what I wanna know.
You know, I really tried to stay quiet about her. I really did.
Oh my God. Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. Too much. Lying so much. You know. You making it hard for me. Baby, you don't die. Why the fuck you lying? Okay.
Good morning, Murphy's mom.
And it's false, lying so much. You making it hard for me. Yeah, I love when you lying like that. So I'ma keep lying like that. I love when you lying like that. So I'ma keep lying like that. But whether you lying, why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You know. You making it hard for me. Just a little bit. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Welcome in, everybody.
Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You making it hard for me. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? You wasting oh my God.
You know, good morning, everybody. Oh, God almighty. You know, I have been outside for the past 2 days doing stuff. It's been beautiful. Yard work. You know, probably pushing myself a little bit. You know, I'm tired. I'm sore. You know, the last thing that I was expecting to do is to come on. Because really, I've been waiting for Sean to come on to hear how he reacts, you know. This is Jenn is Stronger. In fact, let me put a sticker up here. Actually, I'm gonna change her name though, because she's not Stronger. I think that's a better name for her. You know, yeah, exactly. Jenn is weaker. You know, I stopped covering Jenn and talking about Jenn over a year ago. You know, and I have been on TikTok multiple times, and I have stuck up for her. I've supported her. I can't tell you how many times I've said that, she seems to be doing great, all this shit. And we have, we were emailing, back and forth, because I would never give her my phone number, because I don't trust her. I don't trust her with anything like that. And back in, I think, July, I'm not even sure. I'd have to go back through all of our emails. But it was sometime over this summer, she wanted to come into a live. And she wanted to talk about, she wanted to talk about how she's doing and all that. And I remember I came into a live and I asked people what they thought about it, because I'm, fully aware that, first of all, my loyalty is to people that come into my lives, especially my mods. And I know that with Mel, they can't be in a chat together because of legal reasons. So, I remember I asked, yeah, you all voted no way. Exactly. So she has been fishing to get a platform to tell her story, And the thing that's so funny is everybody knows her story. She's trying to make it sound like she is some type of heroine here. That, she has come out of the depths of hell and has persevered and this and that and whatever. But in our emails, especially recently when I blocked her in September, every so often she would come up with an allegation about me. Like, she said that I was involved in her dog getting taken, which is ridiculous. Because when that whole thing happened in January of 2024, I wasn't even in lives yet. I didn't even go live about anything. I didn't go live until after, I remember, I think it was like the 16th or 17th of February 2024. And the only reason why I remember that, it was after Valentine's Day of that year. And the dog thing happened long before that. I don't even think I had a conversation with Mel until after I started going live. So, and again, I'm going to show you emails and all that, but she started saying that I was involved in all that and that I sent Mel money, and then it was, no, I didn't say money, it was dog food, it was a care pack. I mean, just weird ass shit. So, from me having many emails back and forth with her where I'm supporting her and she's telling me about what's going on in her life and this and that, information which I have never divulged, because I'm not a big fan of sharing personal emails out to the public. I've always said that, but I got sent an audio clip of Jenn in Florida Man's Live. I'm not even sure when this was. And again, absolutely flat out lying. But we know over on that platform, you can say a lot of shit and never show any proof, and that's okay. That's not okay with me. That's not okay with people that are being spoken on and just flat out lying about. So when I got this clip today, I'm like, you know what? I'm that's it. That's it. I am unfortunately going to be going live about Jenn again, which I never thought I was going to have to do. And I will be showing emails. And I'm going to be showing, things of what she's been saying and, showing proof about, how she's fucking lying. And, as I said, I'm not, I'm not surprised because based on the platforms that she's going on and she's just lying to everybody about it, I'm not surprised. I mean, we all know that she has been looking for somebody to listen to her and listen to her bullshit. And as I said, people that have really sketchy pasts and have done some foul shit on this app, for some reason, they always end up on the lowest side of TikTok. So, just a couple things that I want to talk about me first, with regards to Jenn. First of all, a couple things. She made the allegation on the live that, and Florida Man, of course, went with it, that I was responsible for when she made 2 attempts on her life. Now, that's a pile of crap because we know a majority of the time that she said she's going to do that, she never did. I mean, we proved that when she was in her live last year and she said she did it. And she never went to the hospital. She lied about it. Even recently, she sent multiple messages out to people saying that they're the reason why she's going to end herself. She has used that tactic for years. As soon as something bad happens to her, as soon as the heat is on too much, that's what she resorts to. And even with recent messages from me before I blocked her, she made a comment about how, she's something like she's going to be leaving or she's going, whatever. I mean, it's the same bullshit, different day. And I posted the video. You tell me how it's possible that she's going to claim that I'm the reason for her doing this shit. And this message was from September 6th. She said, "When have you batted for me? I love you dearly. You are the real reason why I'm clean and sober and working and having a pretty awesome life." So that's the first thing. How can you claim that I was the reason why I did that shit when I have multiple messages from you saying that I'm the reason why you got clean? I mean, that's fucking weird. Okay? That was the first thing. The second thing that I posted that she said is that, or well, I should say, one of the things that I posted that proves Florida Man is full of shit is he has been going on saying that I was the reason, I was the one behind the W-2/pay stub. I've put out there multiple times that that wasn't my idea. I wanted no part of it. And I said that, and that was regarding Jenn, and her sister was involved, and Ghost Lawyer was involved, and I wanted nothing to do with that. And, you know, surprisingly, if I wanted something to do with it, wouldn't you think I would have showed that, what, like a year and 2 or 3 months ago when that happened? I mean, it never went out. Why didn't it go out? Because I said I wasn't supporting it. It was bullshit. I've said that since this whole thing happened. So I had, and this is what I posted. And the reason why this came out, I'll tell you, because Florida Man was in T's Live. This was a couple months ago, and he brought it up there. He brought it up. And so I pulled this message out. This was this past July, okay? Jenn writes, "What the fuck is going on? My sister's saying something about those W-2s." And I said, "Yep, T or Florida Man brought her into the live." And Jenn said, "Oh my effing God. That wasn't you. That was Ghost Lawyer and my sister." Now, there's nothing more that needs to be said about that. I mean, you know, I've been asking Florida Man forever to post, you know, the truth about that. But, you know, he won't do it because he has none. But again, you know, I have all the emails. So now this is the next thing. This is what came to my inbox today. Okay, and I just posted a video on this. So let me play this so you guys can hear it if you didn't hear it.
Please don't. I do got something to say though, real quick. I do have an apology to make to you, TikTok Street, because Scam Slam and Scammy Claus was in my Discord, and then off the app and emails, and they kind of like had me thinking that you were like raising money for bad things or whatever. And then yes, I did talk shit, not on the app, but behind your back, I was talking shit, and. If I seen you live or whatever, and I didn't think they seen you, I'd be messaging them and stuff like that. And I apologize for that, for listening to them. And I apologize.
So I'm up here advocating, and then you were literally taking part in the same thing. You can't do that.
I could tell you this, and Scam's going to come up and show you some screenshots in a little while, but I could tell you this. Jenn asked me to join her Discord quite a while ago, and I think I may have gone in there because she wanted to tell me something, and I don't even remember what it was. It was so old. It was so long ago. I am not in her Discord. I have never, if I was in there, it was for maybe a day. I am not in her Discord. Like I said in the video I posted, you know, show the proof that I was in a Discord, show some messages, show some emails, show something. And, you know, I was going to just leave it at that. I was just going to leave it at that. But as I'm looking through, you know, all of these allegations that Jenn has been making about me, I was like, that's it. I'm done. I am just going to just show. I'm going to show everything, because one thing that hasn't changed about Jenn is she is still a liar. And you know, she could be clean. I don't know. I really don't care. But she is a chameleon, and she will, if she feels like she's going to be accepted by somebody on this app, she will put out lies to fit what their narrative is about somebody. That's what she does because she wants acceptance. But Jenn, the problem is this. I have every single one of our emails. I have everything. And, you know, I'm going to be showing it. I'm going to be showing a lot of this stuff now. I do think the reason why Jenn is mad at me right now is because I blocked her on emails. And I haven't been talking about her. And she's mad because she doesn't have that access to me anymore. And that's why she's lying. So I'm going to read some of these. And I'll show you if you guys want to take screenshots. Because I'm not gonna hold my phone up the whole time. I just want to make sure I got these. Okay, so here's the first one. I know it's going to be tough, but if you take a screenshot and you expand it, you'll be able to read it. Okay. So on August 12th, Jenn says that, she has an appointment today. And she's been talking about how she has a lawyer and she's going after T and Dora and all this shit, okay? She says, hey, I went to that appointment today. I was scared, but we talked about a lot. And I handed over all my stuff, and the investigators there was too. Found things, oh my God, there's a few people going to be facing criminal charges. And I had a video, a couple of them on my phone of Snark. And boy, did that get the ball rolling on that one. So blame me, I forgot it was on my phone. And Bougie, and oh my God, there's so many people that they was writing down. And then she writes, I'm sorry, but now that it's out, no one can blame you or Scam Slam. I said there are a lot of filthy people on this app. They will all get theirs. I hope the investigation works in your favor. That was as much information and conversation regarding Snark that she and I have had. So let me play what she said again.
Yep, I did. Please don't. I do got something to say though, real quick. I do have an apology to make to you, TikTok streets. Because Scam Slam and Scammy Claus was in my Discord, and then off the app and emails, and they kind of like had me thinking that you were like raising money for bad things or whatever. And then yes, I did talk shit, not on the app, but behind your back, I was talking shit. And if I seen you live or whatever, and I didn't think they seen you, I'd be messaging them and stuff like that. And I apologize for that, for listening to them. And I apologize.
So I'm up here advocating, and then you were literally taking part in the same thing. You can't do that, man.
Yep, I did.
Really, Jenn? One thing I made sure about when I emailed with Jenn is I never gave her any information about anything. I never spoke a lot of shit about people. Yeah, I'm sure we messaged about T and all that because at that time, I was going at T pretty hard. But I never got too involved in anybody with her because I know exactly how she was. So she has said that, from my end, and Scam has proof to show you regarding her conversations with Jenn. She's making it sound like that she and I had some pretty in-depth conversations about Snark, which is not the case. And looking at it all, I mean, she's in that message that I read saying that she gave information to the FBI regarding Snark, regarding Bougie. I mean, this is how dirty Jenn is. This is how dirty she is. The other thing that she said, which is an absolute fucking lie and joke, is she said, and I didn't hear this, but somebody reached out to me and said that I was the reason why she didn't get to see her father before she passed. Like, she blamed that on me. Now let's go back a little bit. Her father passed the beginning of February of 2024. I never even went on live until a couple weeks after that. I never knew her dad. I never knew who he was, where he was. I never knew anything about that. From what I remember is SP had him in a live. He was talking to SP, and he had made comments about he didn't want her around. But now the story has changed that it was me. I mean, what the fuck? Where did she pull that one out of? Where the fuck did she pull that one out of? Guys, what I'm going to say is this. Kids, don't do rugs. Because rugs fuck your brain up. And when you're on rugs, you don't remember things. You fry part of your brain. You don't remember what happened versus what didn't happen. And it all starts meshing together. And what happens is you look like an asshole after. And guess what, Jenn? You look like a lying asshole. When I think that people got pissed off at me for not covering Jenn anymore, and people stopped following me because I wouldn't cover Jenn, and I had stuck up for Jenn and saying, leave her alone, she's not begging, she's not asking for things anymore. And people got pissed off at me. And I could understand that, because I was pushing hard, for people to know about her. And I can't even think about how many times I came on my lives and said that Jenn's doing great, she's working, she's doing this, doing that, all that other shit. And I got heat for that. But as I put in my post today, she's about to get a dose of Scammy Claus 2025. Because I've sat around now for a couple weeks and I've heard her just lie. Lie. And I haven't said anything because I didn't want to get involved. I sat back. I didn't want to get involved in her bullshit. But you know what, Jenn? Now I am. And I really don't want to. I have been, staying out of this stuff. I haven't been coming on live as much because I'm trying to just keep it focused about Sean and, what he's been doing and, trying to focus on that shit. But unfortunately now, it's come to this. And, fun fact. Jenn's been going on FWA's lives, too. And last night, she was dry begging for food. I didn't see it. Somebody told me. She was in FWA's live saying that she didn't have any food. And what did FWA do? She sent her a gift card for food. So, we can put that right on Florida Man and his platform. She, as of a year and a couple months ago, she was not on here begging anymore. She wasn't on here dry begging anymore. And now that she has had a platform, she's starting to dry beg. And she got money from somebody who, let's review, is on here daily for hours begging for people to send money to her for her lawyer. I don't know what the hell kind of lawyer gets paid through Cash App. I can't believe people are falling for that bullshit. I'm sorry, but the last type, there's two lawyers I would never hire. Number one, I would not hire a lawyer that's on a billboard that has anything to do with, have you been injured in a car crash? Dial 1-800-888-8888. I would never hire a billboard lawyer. And I sure as hell would not align myself with a lawyer that takes payments through Cash App. I'm sorry. But here's a woman who is actively collecting money for, let's be real here. She's actively collecting money for an attorney because she tried to off somebody. She tried to off somebody and now wants people to help her pay for her attorney to try to get her ass out of the fire, which is not going to happen. But yet she has money to not only do her nail and hair, by the way, but to send Jenn is Stronger money for food and other things. So do her followers, do FWA's enablers realize that when they send her money, she's sending money to people like Jenn? Do you realize what a slap in the face that is? Because I guarantee you, people that are sending FWA money for her supposed defense are people that Jenn has individually pissed off over the years. Let's review. Jenn lied about having cancer. You know how many fucking people in this world right now are dealing with cancer? Dealing with fighting cancer, in remission of cancer, have loved ones that have passed of cancer, people that are going to be diagnosed with cancer at some point, and Jenn lied about that. And FWA is sending her gift cards. how many thousands of dollars Jenn scammed out of people when she said that she was clean and she needed money for whatever, and we all know where that money went for. And FWA is sending money to her. Do you know, I have a message from her. She was talking about Sean and the cats. And she's like, oh, Sean doesn't like those cats. And she said, one thing is that when I had my dogs and I was living in my car, I always took care of them. I always made sure they had food. And I shot back to her and said, come on, Jenn. That's a pile of crap. You never took care of those cats. People that sent you money took care of those animals. Your people that you scammed and begged for money took care of your animals. You did not take care of your fucking animals. Jenn lied about, and I know Dora received the same message. Remember, she lied and pretended she was Matt and said that he unalived her. Remember that? Remember when I had to call police because I was sitting here in a dilemma? Do I feed into this bullshit that Jenn has done for years and not do anything about it? Or do I get my fucking self involved like Jenn wanted and call the cops to do a wellness check? Because do you know how much that fucks somebody up if, in fact, I never did anything and it turned out that it was really Matt saying that he did something to her? What a mind fuck that would have been if it was true. So, manipulation. Manipulation is her key. You know, how many times did she threaten to off herself and people had to do wellness checks? I mean, it is ridiculous. Yep, lied about the baby urn and storage. I mean, the list goes on and on. And, you know, the 6 degrees of separation on this app is only about 2. Because you have Jenn now in FWA's lives. People send FWA money for whatever. And now she's sending a gift card to Jenn. And this is somebody who for over 4 years lied to people and took advantage of people. So, you know how I have been saying that, you know, the crap always falls to the lowest point of gravity. And it does not surprise me that Jenn has now settled over on FWA's and on Florida Man's Life. But we all know how this is going to go. We all know how this is going to go. And what's going to happen is Jenn will be where she was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. She will be irrelevant again. It is a symbiotic relationship, okay? Florida Man and FWA get views. They look like good people for letting Jenn tell her story. You know, it's part of the hate train of whether it's about T or whether it's about me. You know, let's get Jenn on there to tell her story about how people have, you know, wronged her and bullied and harassed her, all this stuff. It fits with their story for today. In a week or two, Jenn is going to be irrelevant again. And what is she going to have left? What people are going to remember about her little foray into the lives of Florida Man and FWA is that she lied. And today, just in the past 20 minutes, I have shown and proven 4 of her lies that she said. It's easy. It's very easy to call people out and to show proof when you don't lie. So, like I said, Jenn, I have kept my mouth shut. I haven't said anything negative or derogatory about you. I have kept my mouth shut. And I've sat here and I have listened to you and gotten clips of you just flat out lying to people. And you brought this on. And I was really hoping you were going to do well. And, you know, part of that, I have a question. She was telling me over the summer how great she's doing and how she has so much money saved up. And, you know, she's working extra hours and, you know, she's doing so great on her own and, you know, all this stuff. Why is it that you can't afford food now, Jenn? Where's all your money going now? You know what? And Lisa Gen X, this is why I fucking hate. This is why I fucking hate TikTok. I hate this because it is a mind fuck. You try wading through this cesspool of people, and you try your hardest to figure out who is a good person and who is a bad person. And you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. You want to support people that you think you can support based on who they are. And you see people change. And you think they've changed. And you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And you want to give somebody support. And look what happens. It's so hard to throw... let me put it this way. I will never throw support behind anybody again. I'm pretty good with the 3 or 4 people that I support on here. I am not going out of my way to support a new creator, somebody who says they're different, somebody who says they're changed. I'm not doing it anymore. Guess what last night? Last night was a 1-year anniversary of something. Does somebody remember what happened a year ago last night on October 4th, 2024? To me. Does anybody remember that? Because I'll tell you what it was. On October 4th, 2024, at about 10 o'clock, police came to my house. Yep. Police came to my house because Allison, otherwise known as Ghost Lawyer, lied to them and said that I was saying bad things about her online. I had 2 police officers come to my house at 10 o'clock at night. And I had a lovely conversation with them. And if you remember, I FOIA'd the body cams, the phone calls to my police department, all that stuff. And she claimed that the police department in my town said to her, you need to file a report with your police department in Washington, D.C., and then we will act on it. And she said, okay. She called back about 10 minutes later to the police and said, I have a police officer on the phone here. Would you like to talk to him? And the police said, yes, we would like to talk to him. And she gave the officer's name. And because of those conversations and what Allison told them, the police came to my house. On October 10th, I put in an FOIA to Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. And I put in a request for any and all information of phone calls, of reports filed against me regarding this situation. And I listed everything I wanted. I wanted police cams. I wanted recordings. I wanted paperwork. I gave them Allison's phone number, her address, all that stuff. And I waited and I waited. I contacted again end of October. They said they have to go through a lot of stuff. And quite honestly, November came, December came, I forgot about it. Wouldn't you know, about a week and a half ago, I got a response back finally. And what I'll do is I will post it on my page. I have to redact some stuff. But wouldn't you know that she lied about that? She never called Washington. She never called the police. There's nothing filed. There's no police cams. There's nothing. It took almost a year for them to get back to me on that. Do I care? No, because, I mean, that was so long ago, you know. That was my first taste on TikTok of how shitty people are. And from that point on is when I started getting really jaded on here. But it was funny because it brought that all up, like I said, about a week and a half ago or so when I got that response from the WPD in Washington. I'll post that receipt I have too. But I just thought it was funny because I always remembered the October 4th date because, you know, that was a memorable time. Because I was so floored that a police department would react to some woman calling and saying that somebody's saying I remember what the recording was. Somebody's saying mean things about me on TikTok. That was her complaint. What is Jenn up to now? Lying. Same stuff she's been doing. So, it just, you know, I find all this very, very, very interesting. So again, you know, with that, and let me play this one more time again, and then I'm going to have Scam come up so she can show her proof that Jenn is lying. But this is what Jenn said in FM's live.
Please
I do got something to say though, real quick. I do have an apology to make to you, TikTok streets, because Scam Slam and Scammy Claus was in my Discord, and then off the app and emails, and they kind of like had me thinking that you were like raising money for bad things or whatever. And then yes, I did talk shit, not on the app, but behind your back I was talking shit, and If I seen you live or whatever, and I didn't think they seen you, I'd be messaging them and stuff like that. And I apologize for that, for listening to them. And I apologize.
So I'm up here advocating, and then
So Jen says that I'm in her Discord, and Scam, I'll let you come up here and talk about it. But just in my regards, Jen said I'm in her Discord. I'm not. Jen said that I was talking to her about Snark, which I never did. She was the one who brought it up. Jen said that I was talking shit about her and trying to make her believe that Snark was doing something wrong. No. I'm sure she got that from watching my lives, window watching. And in fact, I showed an email where Jen said she was the one who brought up Snark and Bougie to the FBI because she said that she has been, she's had a lawyer and she was going to be suing pretty much everybody that has wronged her. She was going to be suing T and Dora, and she gave all these names, and I mean, it's just so easy to prove her wrong. It's just so easy, it's not even a challenge. It took me all of about, I don't know, I think I was texting with Scam this morning. I think it took us all of 5 minutes to find everything that we had to show that she's lying. So it didn't really take long. But again, Jen wants a pat on the back. She wants acceptance for this new person, quote unquote, she is. She was pissed because I would not give her a platform to do that. She's pissed because I've blocked her from my emails now because I'm tired of hearing about her. And, again, fun fact, she was dry begging on FWA's live saying she didn't have food, and FWA sent her a gift card for food and other things. So Jen is pretty much back to the way she was. And I look forward to any and all people that decide to stream her, to call her out on her bullshit. I mean, I don't feel like dredging up, old information about her like so many people like to do. Dredging up old shit on this app. But you know what? If Jen is going to sit there and lie about people, then it's time to start showing proof. Scab Slam, I'm going to let you up and I'm going to mute and you do you.
Second.
Hey, girl.
Hey, so
I'm
hopefully I have all the screenshots in order. Like you said, we just kind of threw these together this morning. And
I'm going to mute, okay?
okay. So I want to preface this first set of screenshots by saying that she had messaged me and wanted to send me some type of screenshots or recordings and asked for my Discord name. I was never in a Discord server with her like she's trying to imply. She said she wanted to send me some things, so I gave her my Discord name. And a lot of the beginning conversation was her lamenting about how people wouldn't, give her a second chance, and people had her blocked and other people were blocking her, and she felt like nobody was giving her a chance and things like that. And I tried to be, nice to her and give her some advice. And that's how this conversation starts off. She does mention several people in these messages. Hopefully some of them are here, or if you know these people, you can let them know they were mentioned in these messages. So the first set, she first reached out to me, I believe in July. This first set of screenshots starts off on July 7th. So this isn't stuff from years ago or anything like that. It's pretty recent. Okay. Can you guys hear me? because my screen is frozen for some reason. Can anyone hear me? Okay, you can hear me. I had to reset my connection. Can hear but not see. Okay, perfect. For some reason it was frozen on my end, so I reset my connection. All right. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to repeat any of that. So hopefully I have the screenshots here in order. Let me see if I can find the first one to show you. And it's, again, starting in July. So let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing the option to green screen. That's weird.
Can you just show it from your
Yeah.
device?
Yeah. Give me 1 second here. Gotta move my coffee out of the way here. I have them on other devices, so let me get those set up. It's on 2 separate devices.
For those of you coming in, we are talking about Jenn is stronger.
So here you can see I was trying to give her some advice because she had been lamenting about people not giving her a chance. And I said, I think if you just keep trying to do the right thing, stay honest, be positive, it will happen.
If you can read them, just because it's going to be hard for people to see it.
Yeah, I am reading it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but yeah,
Okay.
read it verbatim.
Okay. And be positive. It will happen naturally. It will just take time, patience. And she says, okay, I'm alone and I'm starting to lose interest in a lot that I once loved so much. I miss Scammy so bad. We talked about baseball and I love her dearly. But I never said anything about KK other than stop lying on me. And on my other account, I show it's not me. That was just Tina. I don't even know what that's about. No clue. Like I said, I want to reach out to Scammy, but I'm scared. I said, I don't know anything about that KK stuff, but that's okay. No need to explain it. Let me see about the next screenshot here. I want to make sure what direction I need to go in.
When
Okay.
was that from, Scam?
July 7th. You can see the dates are on there.
Which is
And
weird
then,
because we were emailing. So that's weird.
look at this. Scammy is the main
And
one
by
that
we, I
helped
mean
me.
Jenn and I were emailing.
Yeah, Scammy is the main one that helped me get and stay clean and sober, and I miss her so bad. And she was upset because you wouldn't let her in her live streams. And I said, maybe start off by asking if it's okay to be in Scammy's live streams, like just in the chat only. She said, I'm bawling my eyes out right now. I said, don't try to get in a box. Don't say anything too harsh. Just ask if you can go in the live streams and be positive and say hi to people. And then I said, I'm sorry. What about her coming into here, my Discord? She didn't, this was not a Discord. These are just messages. These are Discord messages. It wasn't a Discord server. Okay. Oh, and then she was referring to T here. She dry begged. Someone sent her a big gift because she said the dog chewed up both pairs of glasses. She weighed way more than that. And then she says, because Florida Man rented her platform. That's when that Indian guy was in there. I think. And I said, wow, that's what you guys didn't see. And I said, so Florida Man sent T money to use her platform? Because I've never seen or heard anything like that. She said it's 25 to drop, 50 to come back to the box, and over 100 to rent the platform for so many minutes. That's why T calls out and says there's so many minutes left. I have the whole screen recordings. I said, are they posted somewhere? She
I've
said,
never
go
heard T
watch.
say that.
No, me either. She says, go watch her now. She's coming up about Florida man bullshit. I'm putting them all on my YouTube. I said, I think she has me blocked on every account, but I'll see if I can access it. She says, deflecting big time. Then I don't know what this was even about, but she's talking about Florida man. This was in July. Who is Florida man going to call? Read your message. And then I said he's going to call Judy back later. And then she said, Judy is a huge ass liar. I think you need to get Scammy and we do a call. There's a lot y'all need to know. And honestly, I was not trying to do a call with her at all.
And you know what, Scam Slam? Can I tell you? And I know you've had the same thing. Can I tell you how many times Jenn wanted to get my number to have a call? I think I spoke to her one time and I did a text now number, and this was a long time ago, because I didn't want her getting any of my information, because I've known Jenn of what she does, and she was always wanting to call me. I would get these emails from her. Scammy, it's an emergency. I need to talk to you.
Yeah, and I knew that this was not anything important. Like, and if it's something between her and Judy or whatever, like, that's between them. Like, I didn't even know all what was going on. Okay. So I said, I'm not sure when Scammy's available, and I'm not really available right now tonight. I'm meeting up with friends to go to dinner. And she says, oh. And I said, I've been on vacation all week while this has been going on. And then she had apologized for bothering my vacation or whatever.
Hey,
now
I want to let me show something quick. Okay, I'm gonna large screen me for a minute. Now,
Okay.
now you say that these are from July, right?
Yes.
And that she hasn't been talking. She hasn't been, talking with me or anything. Okay. So let me show you this. Look at these dates of messages. Okay. July 28th, July 26th, 18th, 8th, June 12th. Really? Jen, you weren't talking to me? Okay. Sorry. Just wanted to put that out
So
there.
now I'm jumping to July 21st.
Let me big box you again.
Okay. July 21st, she says, hey, I wanted to give you a heads up about something. When that Meemaw lady went to another state, they all, including Florida Man, downloaded that 360 app so they could make sure they was all safe. And if anything happened, they could contact one another. So yes, they are lying when they say they don't know where he is. She's talking about Florida Man. If you will sit and listen to their lives when they start yelling or talking over one another, you can hear the truth really come out. I'm not the only one that heard it. I said, wow, do you know when that was? You can see I really just ask her questions. I don't give her any information, really. I can look. The 9th, when Meemaw was going on her trip. He said he was in Kentucky. Funny thing, because Dora lives in Kentucky and talks to Florida Man regularly. I said, I didn't hear him say he was in Kentucky. Said he was going to start heading toward New York State.
How would he know? How would she know who Florida Man talks to on a regular basis? At this point, she wasn't even in Florida Man's orbit.
I could be wrong, but just saying, you got to really listen to what they say. Pretty sure he stopped in Kentucky. I said, that's south. He would be heading north to go to New York. Was he coming from Florida? No, Indiana. He really ain't going to tell you where he is because of his warrant. Right. I'm sure some of them know where he is. They do know where he is because they are involved. Mark my words. So that was that. And then I have more to show you. This is on my other device. Hold on. So then this is jumping up to August 13th. Pay attention. Pay attention. Out of the blue. Hey, I have a serious question. Hey, what's up? Okay, I kind of did something. Scammy knows. I let my lawyer have everything I had on T and Dora. And the videos, well, I had 2 videos of snark. Oh, wow. What did they say about it? Again, I'm just asking a lot of questions. My lawyer watched all of them and turned it into the FBI cybercrime unit Monday. I have a sit down with the FBI crime unit. I was so scared and they called me today. I need what info you have on snark. Because I couldn't remember her name. Catch that? Everybody see that? Let me show you my response. Oh, wait, there's more to that message. They want financial institutions and dates, what location she is in, and any identification that anyone has. They're taking this on as a case, and Dora is involved. There's a video of Dora helping her raise money. So I got to get that info ASAP. And then I didn't get back to her right away. And she says, "Are you there?" I said, "Yes, sorry, let me read all that. Sorry, I was uploading videos to YouTube." She says, "And they have reported Dora and T for fraud as well. And this is a huge money laundering thing." I, of course, was not going to give out anybody's information to Jen. I said, "Is there any way I can provide it to the FBI directly? I don't want to pass around anyone's information to anyone. Know what I mean?" Now, I do want to let you know that when this conversation happened, I had a phone call with Scammy. And Scammy and I both agreed that we thought that Jen was lying about this. Okay. I was kind of playing along because I thought, okay, if there is a possibility that, the FBI wants me to cooperate with something that's going on, they can contact me. But I was not going to give her information about anybody or anything like that. And I really didn't believe this whole story. Okay. So
And
I'm just playing along in the 1% chance that maybe there was, something to this. Okay.
and let's one of the things that we've always talked about is giving information to people is a no-no. I mean, and the fact that somebody like Jen is trying to get people to give information out to her about individuals. You see where Scam and I were both just like, fuck you, we're not giving you anything. We don't do that shit.
Yeah, I think that she thought that if she threw the FBI story in there, then we would be maybe willing to give some information if we thought that law enforcement was actually involved. But I said, well, have the FBI contact me and I'll give it directly to them.
I'm telling you what, we need to know where Officer Smitty is. Officer Smitty needs to come back. Officer Smitty needs to come back because considering how many times now in her TikTok career she has alleged that she has lawyers and there's cases and I'm suing this person and I'm suing that person and all that stuff. I'd like her to say, where is this case right now that she keeps saying that she has going against people?
I have more about it. Look, I'll text you in the morning with the info. I just wanted to let him know first. Good, then maybe you can take this over because this is too much for me. And I said, well, this is big and it's currently happening. It's a possibility the money is going to T organizations. She said, yes, that's what they said about the T organizations. Please don't be mad at me. I forgot about those videos in my phone. And I said, well, I leave on a cruise on Saturday. So during that time, I won't have regular phone access, but I should hopefully be able to access email and Discord. Okay, do you want me to give him your email? Just don't be mad at me. I was only trying to help, but this is too big for me. I said, oh, hell, I'm not mad. I've had to be involved in legal cases, not because of anything I did, but illegal things that others are doing. But this is the FBI. I'm still freaking out. And then I gave her my email address. Then she says, Scammy knew I talked to them, but she doesn't know I'm reaching out for y'all to help me with it. I said, I'm not scared of the FBI. I haven't done anything illegal to anyone, and I wouldn't worry about your past stuff, because there was a message where she was afraid she could possibly get in trouble for her past begging and scamming. So I said, I wouldn't worry about your past stuff. It was a long time ago, and it didn't potentially involve T organizations. She said, thank you. And then he can give you his info. I just can't. This is huge, and people are going to get hurt. I said, yes, I'll keep an eye out for contact. You can tell him my real name. And then she said, I tried. And I said, you're welcome. Then she messages me back. This is like a couple days later, I think. She didn't get back to me right away. Hey, he finally called back because I missed the call yesterday because I was driving. And he calls from a private number. So he's going to email TikTok. They asked for your TikTok names. I gave them. And I told him that you'll be out of town. So he said, keep doing what you all are doing. They are investigating it. We just have to be patient, and he will get in touch with you both. So you all can take it from there. Again, I'm sorry. I couldn't be more help, but this is way too big for me. Okay, no problem. If they need any of the videos, I can try to get those uploaded. It's no problem, and I'll be checking my email. She says, okay. And that is all for the messages. Now, I want to add that in addition to the clip that Scammy played, after that part where Jenn apologized to Snark for talking crap about her behind her back, she made it seem like in both the messages between Scammy and her and me and her, that we were talking all kinds of crap about Snark. In the messages that I have, you can see that she's the one that brought it up. She brought up this stuff. She brought up that she, was talking to the FBI, giving them information, blah, blah, blah. I did not bring up Snark. And you can see that I didn't say anything to bash her or anything like that. I was just willing to cooperate if in an investigation, if there really was one, which again, I was 99% sure that there wasn't one. But again, in the 1% chance that there was one, I said, yeah, give him my email information. You can see that I did not release information on anyone at all, or badmouth anyone, bash anyone, or anything of the sort. But after that conversation where Jenn apologized to Snark, they were kind of bantering back and forth. And Jenn was trying to be, all cool with Snark and vice versa. And look, Snark is not cool with me. She is not a fan of mine, and vice versa. But this is Snark should know that
she loves me.
Well, Snark should know that Jenn is a backstabber. She apologized to you, and all she said was, "Oh, she was talking some smack about you in messages with me or whatever." No, it was a lot more than that.
Yeah,
it was a hell of a lot more than that.
Talking smack and her going to the FBI,
right,
is two different things.
Right, and she was trying to be all friends and just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I talk some smack about you or whatever." No, that's not what it was. You were talking to me about giving some kind of videos of hers to the FBI and having her investigated for involvement with T organizations. That's what you did.
I'll tell you. Again.
And she didn't tell me about what the Dora and T stuff was. I don't know why she said she was going to her lawyer about that, or she didn't give me any other details about that. Okay, so what I showed you was our whole discussion about the FBI thing and the lawyer thing. She didn't tell me what any of that was about.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, how's that drug ring going? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. I don't know if she did.
KK and Dora, how's the drug ring going? Good.
I think it's going as good as my casino scamming ring.
I mean, things are going great. I mean, they're happy. I'll be fully cooperative. They can come check it out. I'll even cook them dinner.
Okay, I'm not going that far. If they show up in my house, they might get I don't know, a coffee.
I have Cheez-Its. That's about as far as they're gone. But
I mean, yeah, this is the thing, Jen. And I was screaming this on the other night's live when she literally got up in that box and tried to say we were all the cause that she wanted to unalive herself.
Jesus.
We were the ones that made the calls to check on you.
Yeah.
Um, T called one time to the police department because she had threatened it on a live, and they called T back and they told T that she was perfectly fine, that Matt was there, and that they said everything was great.
I called to have her checked on when she threatened to jump off the bridge on Mother's Day.
Right.
And I called when she pretended she was Matt and said that he unalived her.
Yes. Yes. And for her to come up with these wild things, nobody has even spoken about Jen.
No.
I myself haven't talked about Jen since the phone recording came out. Or prior to that. Jen, when we got called, do you remember the K9 Ringo live?
Yeah.
When we all got called in there, we all didn't know that was happening. We didn't know that phone call even took place. None of us did. And when Jen reached out to me, I still have all my messages. I still have everything of when Jen tried to place blame on other people, when she was the one that had asked the other group if they could reach out to SP for her because she wanted to talk to SP. So many different things, right? And we think, like, as it's changing, it's just like when she gets in FWAs, she lies on everybody and she's going to say that we did all these things. But where's the receipts for that, Jen? Where's the receipts where we're telling you to off yourself? Because that never happens.
She
And
never shows receipts because she doesn't have any. But again, she's going on somebody's lives that they never require receipts because they themselves never have receipts.
That's what I said. You're just listening to hearsay and you're not allowing the other people who Jen has consistently shit on for 2 years to even speak.
And they're in there saying about how honest she's being, and she's saying she's being honest moving forward. She's a different person and all this stuff. And I just wanted to rip my hair out because I'm like, you're lying. I'm listening to her thinking you're lying. And then you're sitting there talking about how you've changed and you're honest now. And I have lots more messages than that, Jen. So you might want to be honest with the people that you're sitting with over there, trying to be buddy with, because I have all the messages of what you really think about some of those individuals.
And you know what? The funny part about that is, Scam, is I said on the other night's live while she was in a box, I said, wait, I said, I guarantee you that messages are soon going to come out where she's talked about them. It's going to be them.
I have more.
I said that.
I have more, but I think since she wants to get in these lives and claim she's honest, then maybe she should do that. Like, I'm trying to give her a chance to actually tell the truth and be honest before I show more messages.
You know, and
remember, Scam, a great point, Scammy Claus, because Scam made a great point. In these messages, she's talking about money laundering. Isn't she claimed that with us being a part of the cartel on the phone call too?
Yep.
Yes, she has. You know, I tried to, I don't listen to Florida Man's lives. I don't listen to FWA's lives because it's just not worth losing brain cells over. But people do send me screenshots. They send me clips of it and all that. And, I want to say it was from last weekend I got something, or maybe this week, where Jen had made some accusations about me. And I'm like, you know what? It's not even worth getting involved in this because, everybody who knows me knows that she's lying. Do I really need to go out there and defend myself from what are absolute lies? And, I sat around, and then when I heard this stuff last night, when I got this recording, when she was talking about snark, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it, and I don't like to share emails, but if Jen is going to go on this route, okay, I will absolutely defend myself and show proof with her own words. And I'm not a big fan of sharing emails, but you know what? This is what, if this is what I have to do just to show, that Jen is still doing the same bullshit she has for years, then sorry, Jen, that's on you.
Can I just say something real quick? And
Of course. Welcome.
thank you for letting me up. I would like everybody to know that that DV story that she told in FWA's live, that was stolen from somebody that's in, and I'm part of the Facebook group that she constantly talks about, but that was stolen from somebody that's in our group. We all were on a call one day and we were all sharing our stories of DV. I'm a DV victim myself, but I'm also a survivor. And so we were all sharing our stories. She decided to steal, and I'm not at liberty to say whose story she stole, but she stole somebody's in our group's story. And that's the story she told in FWA's live.
Now, I didn't
And,
hear
and
it. Do you want to do a quick recap without saying who the person was? I don't want to know any of that stuff. But what was the story she told? Because so many of us, know about Jen. Many more people than I have listened to Jen for 3-4 years, and she would have told the story before. So what is the story basically?
well, there was a lot of violence. The hitting and the beating up part. Um, but the main thing was the graping, and that was somebody in our group's story, is that she was raped during her DV's situations, and Jen took that from somebody in our group.
And I'll tell you what, she's talked about these supposed DV situations. I mean, we go back to the laptop being smacked over her head, which was a lie. I have never heard that. I have never heard her talk about that before.
No, it was discussed in our group. And when Jen was trying to come out and, you know, she told so many lies about our group. It was actually sickening. And that is why we would take a box in T's live, because T would give us a box to speak our truth. And Jen lied about so much stuff during the whole time that we let her in.
And before anybody twisted, I even apologized to them for some of the stuff that Jen had said about them. And we all did that on T's Live. Like that's something that Jen has done forever. And when Jen reached out to me, it was about them. She was like, I need you to be aware of something. And then when I said Jen wanted to do a phone call with me, which I have, Scammy Claus, like she did you. She told me to get a text now because I didn't have one. And I don't currently have one. I just got that for her to send the screenshots, because at TikTok at that time you couldn't send no screenshots, right? And she's like, I want to send this to you. Because she said she would rather do it to me in a text message versus email, because I gave her my email. She's always had my email. And she was talking about how they were doing these things in this group, SP, the same bullshit, right? And I said, well, Jen, I can't blame you for something if I don't know that if it's not you. And I tried to have a conversation with Jen, and then again, she flipped that whole scenario. So I blocked her on everything, and she has no access to me. She's not had access to me in months. I blocked her on email. I blocked her on everything, including TikTok. And then I find out that she comes back on a Hell Rider account, and she's DMing people saying that she was getting ready to set up me and T, that she could not wait till we went to jail, and she was going to ensure of it.
And let's not forget, she was running around here on another burner account when she reached out to Texas Tiff,
On the
lying and
same account, Hell
yep,
Rider.
saying that it was a family member, and she was trying to get information regarding the supposed money that Texas Tiff. I mean, she has not changed.
She was bringing that up to me in our conversations So all this stuff about, the $1,800 and Texas TIF is lying and all that. And I said, look, that was a long time ago. Nobody's even talking about that. Like, I think it would be best if you just move past all of that, arguing about all of that. Like, just move forward. It was so long ago, and no one's even bringing it up.
Correct. And the only time
I was trying to give her, advice for.
Yes, and then with that being said, the multiple accounts, like the only time Jen has ever been discussed is when people have brought it to our attention that she's on another account messaging them, making up some wild shit, and they don't know what to do.
And I want to just reiterate that I have, even though she said someone from the FBI was going to email me or call me or whatever, that you could see that was, I think that last message was from like August 15th. I have never been contacted by anyone. And so it's as I suspected, that I do believe it's a lie. I do not believe that any of that happened, but for her to be running around telling that story is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if she thought that I would like go live and talk about it and like it was true to try to set me up then to be a liar about it or what.
Well,
but
the common denominator here.
I did not say a word to anybody about these messages except Scammy Claus because she said Scammy knew about it. Nobody else knew about that. I never brought it up. Nothing. I just waited and waited and waited to see if somebody from the FBI would contact me, and they never did.
And funny because the people that she's currently whining to is the people she said she reported to the FBI.
Exactly.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Well, but this is what she does, She goes behind, like with Scam messaging her, with messaging me. She never told me she was in contact with Scam Slam, which she doesn't have to. I mean, I don't care about that. But the fact that she plays all these different sides, she's talking about people, that are friends with the people she's messaging. She's not being honest about it. And, as I said, am I surprised that she has ended up on Florida Man's platform? No. FWA's platform? No. What I'm surprised is, as usual, is that people are giving her a platform. And the reason why she's ended up there is because anybody that has any type of credibility knows what Jen is all about and won't allow her on their platforms anymore. I cannot tell you how many times she asked to let her in a live so she could talk about her situation.
I think she wanted that too. And she also asked me why I still had a channel for her on my YouTube. And I was just like, well, people are interested in watching your live streams, so I'm going to keep posting them. I think she wanted possibly to get on my platform, and I think she wanted me to get rid of her videos that I have posted on my YouTube. I think she thought if she got in good with me that I would do that, but that's not something I was willing to do at all.
Well, and also
I want to reiterate that the reason why she was mentioning the stuff about Dora possibly knowing where Florida Man was is because she had been indicating that she wanted Florida Man to get caught and go to jail, which I don't have a problem with that. But, your buddy Florida Man might, because you were behind the scenes trying to find out where he was and who might know where he was to report it.
And
so they might be interested in knowing that you were behind the scenes trying to do that, and that you were asking for Snark's information, and that I have integrity and I did not provide that to her.
Yes. And the funny thing about it is, if you go back and watch all the live streams, even at the moment that Florida Man was in any live streams with us, I have always stated, I don't talk to him like that. I don't fucking know where he is. Don't. Never have. Never did.
And she kept saying she had proof that you had mentioned different things and that she would send me a video or a screenshot or something, but then she just never produced anything.
No, because it wasn't there. I've always said it. And for her to, like, you're behind the scenes trying to catch up all this stuff because you say you're reporting him to the FBI and you're reporting Bougie and you're reporting all these people to the FBI, but you're crying to those same people to help you with your story. How many other creators did she reach out to, including the Mexican homie, to share her story to?
Yeah, I think there's some messages that include stuff about Bougie too. Like I said, I didn't show them all, but I think she needs to be honest because I can show them all.
Can I just say two more things? The first one is when she was trying to tell Dora and T and everybody else that we're the ones that got in touch with SP and we made her return that $20 back to SP. We forced her to do it. That is a complete lie. I sent Dora the screenshot where she asked SP if she could include us into her phone call because she said she was nervous. SP said absolutely. I like those girls. So when that phone call happened, Jenn was apologizing to SP, giving her some sob stories, blah, blah, blah. Jenn is the one that said, SP, I know when I was begging, you sent me $20 and I'm just going to give a number. This is not an accurate number, but she would be like, I have like $1,500 in the bank because I'm looking for an apartment and I would really like to send that money back to you. None of us knew that she even owed SP that $20. How can we force her to send her that money back when we didn't even know she owed it? Okay. The second thing is when that phone call came out with Scotty, she did that phone call in February. That was during the time that we were all still together. She did that behind our backs. We knew nothing about that phone call with Scotty. I want to make that clear right now. None of us knew anything about that until it came out when K9 Ringo played it. And everybody, and the homies did a live on Jenn that night. We were absolutely shocked because when it came out that the phone call was done in February, but K9 Ringo was waiting for more proof on that situation, so he didn't come out with it. He got the phone call in May, but he didn't come out with it until like a month ago. So I just want to make that clear to everyone. We didn't know anything about that.
And you notice how she hasn't talked about that, or she hasn't put any proof out about that either?
Well, she said, according to some people, and this is allegedly because I haven't really paid too much attention to it. She said that Scotty forced her to do that phone call.
Yep.
Yeah, she was forced to do that phone call. No, that was your own voice, like you do every fucking body else. You go around, have these people to call you, make up this wild shit, and then when people say, "Hey, what's this regarding? What's this about?" or "Hey, you're talking about Scammy Claus months later," everybody's like, "What?"
Yep, and I'll tell.
I haven't seen her respond back about that.
Well,
Jenn, like in all these lives she's been popping in and out of, I haven't seen her discuss that phone call.
No, not you. No, Scotty, not Scotty's wife. She sent me information regarding that. She said that Scotty forced her to do it, and because she wanted protection. I don't even know. You know what? To be honest with you, I didn't even read the shit because at that point, I was so overdone with all of her lies and her bullshit. And I just, you know what? There's nothing that she can say now where I would believe her. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It's the same bullshit she's tried to spew. She has messaged multiple people. She comes into our lives on burners, multiple burners, because there's been like 4 accounts that she's messaged people on that have brought it to our attention. And she's messaging them because she's steady watching and she's going through our comment list and messaging these people, telling them what we quote unquote did to her. Nobody has harassed her. None of us are going out of our way to DM her. She's been blocked. Nobody is harassing her or telling her any vile things or none of that. Nobody.
Nobody
You're
has
only
even
pointing
talked
out what
about
she's
him.
I
done.
was really nice to her, and she was asking for my advice, and I was trying to give her some constructive advice moving forward, how to move past some of the, the things that have happened in the past, and how to just be patient, and not try to force people into, believing you've changed. Just let it happen naturally. Just keep doing what you're doing, that kind of stuff. Keep being positive. Keep working. Keep staying sober. All of
Absolutely.
that. Like, I was very encouraging to her.
I
I'm
did
trying to
too. I
be
told her the
nice.
last time we spoke, I said, I'm happy that you have a job. Continue moving forward with your life, and I wish you the best. That's what I told her.
And this is why so many people have trust issues on this app. You know, in my situation with Jenn, I went hard against her. Okay. I went hard when I was doing coverage of her.
Hmm.
And when I stopped because she wasn't begging anymore, that was a time in my position that you give somebody grace. They stop doing the behavior that you were calling them out for, and you let them make the changes and show that they're doing better and they've stopped the behavior. Okay. And to see where we are today, when all I personally did for her is support her via email, give her props for supposedly what she was doing, and then all of this stuff happens. I haven't talked about Jenn until she brought up stuff in FM's lives. I haven't talked about Jenn until I heard that same recording that Ringo had where she threw pretty much everybody under a bus for something that isn't true at all, without showing any receipts of anything. That's why she was brought up again, for no other reason. She brought this on herself. This is what she always does. And I have no sympathy for her anymore. And I don't believe anything that she has said to me or anything in the future that she'll say.
No, and the problem
And
is, Scammy, to
that's
be
what.
honest. Go ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry,
sorry,
honey.
Dora. I just was going to say that's exactly what we were doing in our group, is that we were encouraging her to do good. We knew she was working because we would talk to her while she was at work. When we were on our calls and stuff, she would turn us on. So, we were just, she'd be like, well, I want to go live and tell T and Dora, blah. And we would encourage her, listen, don't go live. If you go live, you're just going to argue with them. It's going to continue. Just don't go live. You're doing great. You're getting your own apartment. She lied about that situation too, by the way, but she said she found that apartment all by herself. We were encouraging her. That's great. Justina, when she was looking for apartments, Justina looked up a bunch of places for her to look into. But we were just trying to be her friend and encourage her to do the right things. And if that meant don't go live because it just keeps continuing, all the time, we were trying to just keep her on a good path for herself and to get away from the drama. And that's all we were trying to do. And now she's going around telling people that we were sent to have her in our group by T and Dora, and we were sent there to do whatever she says we were sent there to do. And that's just not true. Everybody knows that we had a falling out with T and Dora at the time. They didn't send us to do anything. We were genuinely trying to be her friend. And that's exactly what we were trying to do.
And this is why she doesn't have friends. That's exactly why she doesn't have friends. She claims that she's lonely, she has nobody to talk to. What she needs to do is she needs to look back on her behavior on this app, because when people probably against their best judgment would, extend an olive leaf to her, to want to believe that she's doing better and to support her doing better. When anybody has done that, look what she's done to them. Just look what she's done.
Yes. And and like Scammy said, Scammy tried to look past it. Scammy's like, okay, she's working, she's doing the things. I even said the same. I'm like, if you're working, good for you. Good for you. I hope that you the best endeavors in life. But she only thing she did was flipped her role. and did it on the back end in messages. Because so many people was like, I got a message from her and not sure why. There were so many people that had said that she was sending people's stuff to everybody. There was lots of people that reached out regarding that on different accounts of hers. She went by Sophie Marie. She's went by her main account. Then she went over to the whatever I said that account was. She messaged Texas Tiff. And then she messaged somebody else. See, Kool-Aid Mustache. Everybody's getting messages from her on the back end. And then she even ran back to Melissa Burbank. Her and Melissa Burbank got into it again.
Yep, and I noticed somebody sent me a screenshot of Melissa Burbank making videos or, doing photos of me and other people just within the past 2 days. So you can tell they've been, in communication recently because Melissa Burbank is trying to insert herself. And I say go for it. I mean, good for her. But
Scammy Claus, can you let Jules up for just a second?
Would love to. Is this Jules? I don't even know who Jules is.
Yes, that's her.
Thanks.
Yes. I wanted to add something before I head in. I have to go to my Sunday fun day job. So during that time that you were in Tease Live and we were talking to you about the situation with the Facebook group, and I think you felt the sense that we were attacking you, and that was not my intentions at all. I was not trying to attack you, but I wanted to give you some sort of sense of where we rationale things and we recognize behavior in a normal sense.
Who are you referring to, Jay?
What's that?
Who are you referring to?
The things that Jenn has done as far as the way that her brain works and ours does not. If that makes sense.
Right, but you said that you didn't want people to think that you were attacking her. Who are you referring to?
No, I was speaking to you. When I was speaking to you with passion, I was not trying to attack you. I wanted you to understand the situation that we've been put in. Hi.
You know what? I don't even remember it, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, it's the sense that, it's things like when you're sick and you can't go to work and you're messaging people to get you to get some help, to take your hours or help you or let them know you're ill. Those are the screenshots and things that she would send over to us. And I thought that was a bit odd. When I'm ill and I let my boss know, I don't send my friends screenshots. There are reasons in her brain behind doing that. And a lot of that is, well, now they have the phone number. Now they know who these people are. All these different things that happen, she uses to put that against you. She articulates every day and every move she makes that is not positive. It is, how can I fuck you up today kind of thing,
Yeah, and she also uses
that makes sense.
No, I know what you're saying. And the other reason why she does it is because she wants people to have a track record of her life that she wants to show. So she can show, well, I didn't go to work today because I'm not feeling well, and I want to prove to you because here's the email I sent. Or this is the information about the rack pipe, and I want to send you pictures of this, and I want you to see it from the way I want you to see it, not from what really happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a classic manipulative move. She's done that forever, But listen, one of the things, Jules, is that for me on this app, I have been in the trenches many, many times with people. I don't care about what people say. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about stuff like that. That stuff doesn't hurt me. What hurts me is what people do to me. And those are the things that I never will allow I will never allow to, and I will never get over stuff like that. Like, quite honestly, with the doxing that happened to me, I will never forget that, and I will never get over that. But what people say to me on here, or they don't like my position on here, that stuff doesn't bother me. So that's why I'm sorry, I don't even remember it. So nothing,
Well, that's
nothing
good.
personal. But yeah, nothing personal. But that's just the way I am.
Okay. Well,
But
thank
I
you for
want to
letting me
thank
speak.
you.
I have to
Yeah.
go in and feed the elderly now.
Well, you go, girl, and thank you for
Yeah.
coming up. Like I said, there's
Thank you.
no hard feelings. Take care.
All right.
So Scam, you have something to say?
Yeah, I was going to say that since she has been running around to all these platforms, playing victim to all these things that didn't happen the way that she's saying they did, I'm sure, I mean, my thought is she's probably going to continue that now, right? She's going to say, OMG, Scam Slam and Scammy Claus and Dora all held alive, further, bullying me and all this stuff. Whoever falls for that is a fool, because we are the victims of her lies and manipulations for years now. And not just us, but so many people. And there's so many victims that she scammed and got so much money from. She's not the victim in this. She caused this by all her lies in the past. Then now she's trying to claim that she's changed, but she has not changed, because she still is perpetrating all of these lies. And I hope that everyone realizes that and doesn't fall for her bullshit victim story, because she is the cause of all of this.
You know what's funny is all of the time that she's trying to make statements that everybody here is money laundering is a projection of how much money she's taken to people in 6 years.
I agree with that.
I agree. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people, project things that they are doing, or the horrible things they are doing onto others, to take the focus off of them, and to try to make themselves feel like they're a better person when they're not.
Good afternoon, ladies. I'm driving, so I
Hey,
can't look anything up. Scam
welcome
Slam,
in.
I've been following you for a long time. I'm usually a silent watcher, but I did spend the night in your town last night. I'm headed from California to New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my last leg. I have a question. This person that you're talking about, and I can't look myself where I would, but Sophie Marie, does she have like red hearts in that name?
Yes.
Oh boy.
she's over on the Drama Twins shit now.
Is it Red Hearts? Is it? But it's got like a bear, like a Care Bear picture or
Red
something.
something in her name. There's red something. I can't think of what it is right now, but like I said, I'm driving. But she got like little red decorations in her name.
I would have to look and see to confirm that, but I do know that it's Sophie Marie with a Care Bear picture.
Yeah, I don't know about that, because I think I've probably seen that account one time, and I don't really remember it.
Well, there's someone
It's
using that name that's like knee
290.
deep over there.
Mel just put it Sophie Marie 290.
I
I
mean,
see.
is it plausible? Yes, it's plausible.
She
Absolutely.
also had an account Live, Laugh, Love too.
That's her too.
That was, yes, I believe she changed it now because we called it out.
Hmm. All right, ladies, that's all I wanted. Have a good day, and I love your stuff. Love what you
Thanks for
do. I'm
coming up.
sitting in here in the corners all the time.
Safe
Thank you,
travels.
Joanne. Safe travels.
Thanks.
Um, this my prediction going forward with Jen here again, because we all know her, and I think we can all agree with this. She will get on live, and she will say she's being bullied and harassed by people again. And they do this all the time, and it never stops. and I'm doing great, and they're just not happy with the fact that I'm succeeding. I haven't done nothing to these people. They're making up lies. But the problem is, I've showed proof today, and this will be on YouTube. So if you missed any of this live, you'll be able to see the whole thing with the proof. We've showed proof of her lying. I have a couple videos out, proof that she's lying about stuff. Jen has not changed, and that saddens me to say that, because I really thought up until, August, beginning of September, that, I've heard stuff about her behind the scenes. I haven't seen, I never saw anything that would have me think otherwise, that she wasn't doing well. Or maybe I didn't want to believe it, whatever it is. But, with me, I need to see, absolute proof of what somebody's doing before I call them a scum-sucking pig. And, the clips that I've gotten of Jen just flat out lying about so many different people. The whole thing with the talking to Scotty about, just the atrociousness of the lies that she, reported were true. I'm not sure what her end game is, but if her end game is trying to become credible on this app again, that's never going to happen. If the end game is trying to make friends with people that accept her, that's not going to happen. My opinion is she was much better off just being off this app as Jenn is stronger. Everybody's got burners. I don't know where she goes. I don't know all of her burners. I really don't care. I don't. But, inserting herself into the TikTok lives of people, trying to search for acceptance with people again and trying to find a soft landing spot is not going to work. And it's not working primarily because of her lies. And this is a shout out to everybody. If you're going to put allegations out about people, you better have the allegation and the proof ready. Because a lot of people on this app, and I've seen Florida Man do it to me multiple times, putting out false information and never backing it up, putting false information about Smashley, never backing it up, putting information out about all these people on here, not backing it up. And yet there are a handful of people that follow him that believe anything he says. My challenge to people is, don't believe anybody on this app. I don't care how much you've been following somebody and how much you like them. Unless somebody is saying an allegation and showing the proof immediately, it never happened. That is the best way to wade through all of this bullshit on this app.
Not scamming. Good point there. I really appreciate you allowing the space today for everybody to kind of come in and say, look, what the heck. Meanwhile, she's going to these people to get her story about how bad we screwed her over. Meanwhile, she's working behind the scenes, turning these same people into the FBI that she's working with now. Huh?
Exactly.
That's the funny part about all this. It's the same Jen pattern as it's been for 2 years. How much bullshit have we went through with Jen? All of us, not just one of us, all of us for 2 years now.
When people are upfront, in terms of Jen, when she, I played that clip of her talking to Snark about, I've heard the stuff that Scammy and Scam Slammer said about you, and I kind of believed it. Whatever it is, whatever she said. It's funny though how she forgot to mention to Snark, and I gave your information to the FBI. You know what I mean? You need to be upfront with people. You need to be upfront with people. You need to, if you're going to put something out there, number one, you better have proof of it. And number two, you better not be lying about it, because somebody always has the proof.
Absolutely. And in our messages, I was never critical of her or anything like that. I wouldn't say that we were friends by any means, but I was cordial. And I, gave her advice because there were times where she said she was upset about this or that. And I tried to kind of, calm her down and tell her to just be patient. You can see that in just a very small snippet of the messages, but there's lots more like that. So even after everything she's done to everyone, I was still very cordial with her and tried to be nice to her. And I have not spoken on her. And then she goes live lying about me. So yeah, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I mean,
you know what, Scam? And I took the same approach, and we never talked about our discussions with Jen, because again, when I have a discussion with somebody, I'm not sharing everything with everybody. I've been upfront with people in my live saying that Jen and I email each other. I have never hid that fact, because why should I hide it?
yeah, I didn't tell you about anything with Jen until August, when she messaged me about the FBI thing, because I said I doubted whether it was true, and I wanted to get your advice, and I told you what she told me, and we had both agreed that we thought it was a lie, that we didn't believe her her FBI story.
But you know what? I have to say, the one thing that I made sure about in my discussions with her, and that you did too, um, no matter how happy I was, and how she was saying that she was doing great and she was working and all that, and I supported on that, not once did I feel comfortable enough to discuss anything of importance with her. And she would bring stuff up, and I wouldn't discuss anything that was happening on TikTok. Yeah, of course. I mean, I absolutely discussed Tiandora back in July and August because of what the dynamics were between us at that time. Absolutely, I did that. But in terms of, anything of substance, I never commented on anything she said, because I knew that at some point down the road, she would probably turn on me like she has turned on everybody else. Even though I was only supporting her verbally, that's it. But I knew she would, and here we are.
Yeah, I agree. The whole time I was messaging her, I was, I didn't trust her. You can see that most of our conversation, I was asking questions. She would tell me something and I would say, "Is there proof of that?" Well, where is that posted? Who said that? I was trying to, get information, and I was asking questions, but I wasn't just giving her a bunch of information. I wasn't insulting people and blasting people and just like bad talking people behind their back or anything of the sort.
Cautious. That's what I was.
Absolutely. And you have to be with Jen. If that's one thing that anybody has learned, is you have to be cautious with Jen, because Jen does this shit to every single person she's been around. And then people are coming together in a moment to say, wait a second, that's not what you told me, Jen. And when she's up here telling these stories, like the other night, I pointed out the fact that JJ, Jules got dropped for trying to come up and debunk what Jen was saying, because, Jen has changed. Jen's not that person.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that one. Listen, as I said, Jen is her own worst enemy. And she has shown that for what seems like ever. You know, she's created this situation. I was done talking about her. I know T really hasn't talked about her. Dora, you haven't talked about her. Nobody has, because quite honestly, she was insignificant. Nobody cared anymore. Nobody cared. She's doing this for one reason only. She knows that Florida Man has gone and is going after me. She knows that Florida Man has gone after T and Dora. She knows that FWA has said things about me. She knows that FWA has said things about Dora and T. That's the only reason why she's ending up there. And then bonus, Jen gets money from FWA yesterday. So, it's a win-win for her, but it's only a win-win until they realize and they find out that in fact she's been talking about them behind the scenes. So, again, Jen's created this. My gut tells me that she will not be in the lives anymore over there. She will not be invited over there anymore because she's done the same thing to them as she's done to everybody else. And she again will go back to the realms of being insignificant because she continues to be the same person that she was behavior wise a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
And I'm sure that she will probably also try to claim that, like in our conversations, that I somehow, encouraged her to say these things, or that I started these conversations about these individuals, or that I wanted her to whatever do and say these different things. Absolutely not, because again, I can show all of the messages which show that she initiated all of these different conversations. So yeah, I mean, if she so that she can go live and claim that if she wants, and say that we convinced her that this was true or that was true, or that she should say or do these different things. But if you see all the messages, you're going to see that that is not the case at all.
And I agree with that. I think that, this is the same bullshit Jen has pulled, but I feel like she's getting worse at this point. Like she's just making things up off the top of her head to see what will stick and who will take on that and run with it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it leaves them just like most of us. Like all of us can say that we've actually tried to be nice to Jen and have a conversation with Jen and try to figure out what in the hell where she's coming from with all of this and wish her the best, but yet she still does this. It's been 2 solid years. We're going into the 3rd year by 2026 with the same bullshit from Jen. And then where is room for change there? Where is she going to, instead of now she's not doing it publicly, she's doing it behind the scenes?
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking on what Scam said, I have no problem doing a screen video of every single email that Jen and I have ever had between each other. It'll be long, and I will put it all out there if I need to do that. If Jen keeps continuing to lie on me and other people, I have no problem with that. And yeah, I've talked about I've talked about people in those emails, not to an extent that Jen does. But I have said stuff on there about, about T and about Dora, and I'll put that out there. I have no problem with it. I don't like doing that, but again, if it means defending myself and other people on this app and using her own words to bite her in the ass, I'll do it. I have no problem with that.
Absolutely. And I have no problem sharing the screen recording of mine and her messages that when she reached out to me, 0 problem with that.
Just so everyone knows, Jen has been on this app, TikTok app, for 6 years. Jen can't remember how long she's been on this app, but there's somebody in our group, which I won't name again, that sent her money when she was on TikTok 6 years ago. And before that, she was begging on Facebook Live.
Yeah, I mean, we all know. We all know about Jen. She claims that she's only been on here for so long. Everybody knows that. I'm more focused on the here and now, because these behaviors of Jen's are the same things that she used to do. And when T was covering Jen last year at this time, and I wasn't happy about it, and I even told T she was right about this months ago. Jenn hasn't changed. She's still doing the same shit. She's still doing the behind the scenes stuff. And that aspect of her hasn't changed. But again, I needed to see and I needed to hear and I needed to have it proven to myself that that was the case. And, you know, with her listening to her own words lie on people, with that first video that came out on Ringo's Live, and then these clips that I've seen her talking in FWAs and Florida Mans. I mean, that's indisputable evidence. I mean, when it comes right from your own mouth, and you know, people have proof to show otherwise of what you're saying, that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to see. And you know, let's see her go live again and try to spin this stuff.
Well, and as you could see from my messages, she was thanking me and asking me for my help with something. And, you know, as what happens a lot of the time, because I do offer to help people, regardless of whatever, you know, I offered to help. And what happened? You know, look what happened. Look what happened. She went and lied about me. And this isn't the first time this has happened, you know? And it really sucks when people do that. You try to be helpful, you offer to help someone, and then they turn around and lie on you, you know, backstab you, whatever. And that just shows what kind of people they are, and it shows what kind of a person I am.
And you know, that's not the way that, you know, as she says, she has no friends on there. That's not a way to try to gain back friendships. That's not a way of garner new friendships. People don't like that. And, you know, that's where she is. That's where she is. So do you guys have anything else you want to add to it? Because it is almost kickoff time for the 1:00 games. And quite honestly, that is so much more important to me than her.
Absolutely no. I just the last thing, I really appreciate you holding this live regarding Jenn. And thank you everybody that has spoken and kind of just debunked some of the stuff as well, because I know a lot of people that know Jenn knows the real truth, and that's all I'll say about that. But I will hop down now. You go and enjoy football.
Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scammy, for letting me up.
No problem. No problem. Guys, I'm sure, you know, as Jenn will often do, I'm sure there's going to be emails sent out, texts sent out to people saying, you know, that, oh, my life is terrible and, you know, I'm going to end it all. Yeah, delete them. She's done that so many times. You know, my suggestion to everybody is block her. Block her phone number, block her text messages, block her emails. She's too far gone. She is too far gone to have any type of authentic relationship with anybody. It's impossible, you know. And of all people, here I am saying that when I sat there and I went to bat for her. But she's broken. She is beyond broken. She is beyond. So that's all I'm going to say. Everybody, thanks for coming in. You know, again, I wasn't planning on coming in today, but this was too much. Thank you to all my mods, you know, for taking care of the chat today. Thank you for the guests that came up. Thank you for gifting myself and the people in the boxes. Again, you guys all know that I will be donating those. In fact, I'll be posting something within the next couple of days for all the September gifts that I received. Appreciate all of that. Have a wonderful afternoon. And are you guys ready for some football? Because I am. Take care. Bye-bye.